In a situation where you are dating someone, things are going great, you have a wonderful person that you love and you know that person loves you, and you want things to go great. And yet sometimes you face challenges here and there. I would like to share in this video just one tip that can help your relationship. So this tip I want to share is something that's going to help you. I call this like the game changer, because if you look at most of the relationships that we have nowadays, most relationships, which ended. How did they end, if I'm to ask you? Aside from, of course, the usual relationships where we get to find maybe one partner cheats or one partner does whatever they did or anything like that. Most of the times, people get hurt in relationships is through words. So I would like to share a tip regarding how our words affect our day-to-day relationships, especially with our life partners. So, first of all, you need to begin by understanding that words are powerful. Words build, words destroy. So, in a situation where, let's say, you are constantly having disagreements or misunderstandings about points of views or opinions about whatever each one of you could be faced with, it's very, very important that you know how to talk to each other. By that, of course, I mean being nice to each other in the way you talk against your partner or for your partner or whatever case may be. Because most of the times, what I've come to learn is whenever there is a disagreement, whenever there is a misunderstanding, have you ever noticed how sometimes out of anger, out of frustration, out of disappointment, some people would raise their voice, and not just raise their voice, they would end up maybe saying something bad to the other person out of frustration or out of anger. So now, in a situation like that, if you've been constantly saying negative things about the relationship that you are in, sooner or later, those negative things you've been saying about the relationship that you are in are bound to happen. It's like a simple rule of manifestation where affirmations get involved. Also, you do know that most of the times when people are angry or maybe disappointed or frustrated or stressed out and they are saying something, have you noticed that usually people say such things with a certain energy which is very strong? And we do know that when we say words with such strong emphasis, so much energy tied to that word, there is so much energy enough to manifest what you say with your words. So now, look at a situation like this. You're in a relationship, yeah? Yet every day, you always say something negative, something bad about your relationship. Do you know that because of those words that you keep saying about your relationship, sooner or later, those words are gonna come true? Words build, words destroy. So when you talk about two people coming in a relationship, what's happening is they've come together to build something special. So let's say with your girlfriend or with your fiance or with your wife or with your husband, there's something you are building. Just like it is when you're building a house. There are materials that you need, that you require if you're going to build that house. It's the same with a relationship. So, words are some of those materials that we use to build a relationship. I'll give you an example. Have you ever noticed how you feel when your partner says something nice about you? Even just a simple compliment to tell you like you're beautiful, or you are handsome, or you are gorgeous, you are stunning. Have you ever noticed how you feel? How awesome you feel? How amazing you feel? Just by a simple compliment given to you. Maybe because of the way you look, because of the way you talk, the way you treat your partner, or something like that. Simple things like that, they help to build a more successful and healthy relationship. The same thing goes for bad words, toxic words, negative words. The more those words are being spoken to your partner in a relationship, it's like you are tearing down the walls that have been building that relationship. So what am I trying to say? One of the key things that are going to strengthen your relationship, whether you're just dating, whether you're just boyfriend and girlfriend, whether you are man and wife in a marriage setup, the words that you constantly speak to your partner about your relationship, about your marriage, they really matter. They really determine how far you're going to go in the relationship. Just as it is with your words, you can bless and you can curse. It's the same principle. What words are you constantly talking about in your relationship, about your partner? What words are you talking about most of the time? Because those words are going to determine how successful your relationship is going to be. These are things that every day we see people repeating over and over. And then the next day when a relationship is over, they'll start wondering, oh, what happened? What went wrong? I just gave you a secret. I just gave you a tip. I just gave you one of the key factors that determines the success of any relationship when it comes to whether it's marriage or you're just dating. So this is one tip I thought I could share in this video. And I hope that you're gonna get this tip and use it in your relationship. Because at the end of the day, it matters what you do in a relationship, because a relationship is just like a garden. Yeah? Every day you have to water that garden. Every day you have to look after those plants in that garden. Every day you have to check, are the things we planted growing? Are they healthy? What's happening? It's the same with every relationship. You have to keep checking it. You have to keep watering. You have to keep working that relationship, because every relationship is work. And it matters what kind of work, what kind of effort you put in. So with your words, you are building that relationship. With your wonderful words, you are building that relationship. So this, I would like to say in conclusion that I know sometimes it's hard being in a relationship in situations where maybe you are trying to look for a better way to treat your partner, but then sometimes it feels like it's so hard to go about it because of maybe one factor or another. But at the end of the day, I've come to learn that as much as, yes, there could be difficulties or challenges in the way you go about managing your relationship with your partner, it's always important to deal with the real issues that are affecting you with your partner in a more peaceful, in a more kind and loving way. Because I've noticed like most of the times we want to go or we want to take the more aggressive, the more hard or maybe violent kind of style. But I've come to learn that when you go hard like that, it's not always the best way. Sometimes you have to take the softer side of things. Sometimes you have to be more, to be the one who is more gracious. Sometimes you have to be the one who is more kind, more loving, more understanding. Because honestly, I've come to also learn that during the moments when you argue, when two people are fighting or two people are yelling at each other, have you noticed that they could be close, even in the same room, but they'll be shouting at each other as if they are at a distance or something? The reason why it's like that, because when both parties are shouting or they are angry, in that moment, the two hearts are at quite a distance apart. So now, if you want to reach out to your partner in that moment, I wouldn't advise for you also to go loud and for you also to go the more angry or more violent side of it. It's better you be soft, so that you help to soften your partner. You help to reduce the emotional rage or whatever it is that your partner could be going through. Because at the end of the day, you are both meant to build that relationship. You are both meant to work that relationship. And I also want to say that, sometimes we want to look for the perfect partner. We want to look for this and that, or personal characteristics or whatever in a partner. But at the end of the day, regardless of the type of the partner that you find, it will all come down to this. You and your partner will need to work things out. There'll always be misunderstandings. There'll always be a situation where you don't agree on one thing or another. But what will matter is, are you willing to work things out? Are you willing to make progress? Are you willing to sometimes ignore certain things? Because it's not always that you have to argue about something. It's not always that you should win an argument. Sometimes you have to lose to win. I'm sure you know what I mean. It's not always that you have to win an argument. Some things you just have to ignore for the sake of keeping the relationship. Because at the end of the day, when all is said and done, are you going to stay when pressures come in that relationship? Are you going to stay when challenges come in that relationship? Relationship is work. And just like I said, be nice to your partner. Speak wonderful words. Speak the things you want to see happening in your relationship. Don't speak the bad things. Words are like seeds, by the way. Every word you speak in a situation is like you sowing seeds. So the more seeds you are sowing, the more you're going to reap, the more you're going to harvest. Question is, what type of seeds are you sowing in your relationship? Are they good ones or bad ones? So, I just thought of sharing this today. And if you really loved this content, please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this. I'll see you in the next video.